will often hear poker players talking about what their kicker is in a hand. What they are referring to is the actual strength and rank of the weaker of the two cards that was dealt to them. This has nothing to do with holding pocket pairs like these, of course, because both of those cards are the same rank, but more so when you have playable hands that normally include higher cards. The kicker is simply the lower ranking card. Your kicker can be very relevant when playing hands like these: Ace-Queen, King-10, Ace-X, or even something like Queen-8 suited. If you hit top pair on the flop, then the kickers in all of these hands can potentially come into play to determine the actual winner. That's why your kicker is so important. So you might be asking how exactly this can cause a problem for you. Well, here is where those types of hands can become trouble hands. It's when you are dominated, meaning another player has also hit top pair on a flop and has a better kicker than you. Just look at how much one hand is favored over the other pre-flop when you play with weaker kickers. Ace-King is nearly a 3-to-1 favorite over Ace-Queen, and Ace-Jack is a 2-to-1 favorite over Ace-8 suited. Now, you don't have to be a poker math wizard to know these situations will be costly for you long term. Like, for example, in this situation, where in this multi-table poker tournament, everyone folds to you, so you decide to raise from late position with a nice-looking hand of Queen-10 of clubs. Everyone folds to your obvious strength except for the big blind, who decided to call and see a flop out of position. All right then, here is the flop, Queen 4-7. You just hit top pair with a decent kicker against a single opponent. Excellent! Or is it? Well, we're going to see. Your opponent checks to you, so that is definitely a good start. Hence, you bet 200 into the pot of 325. But before the dealer can even collect your chips, your opponent insta-calls. Oh no. Houston, we have a problem. Since a draw is unlikely on this board, we can reasonably narrow our opponent's hands down to pocket pairs, Ace-X, or a queen. Most of the time here, his call on the flop means trouble for us. Now, even though we are still ahead of mid-pairs, it is quite possible he hit a set, which is just deadly. However, for the sake of this tutorial, we are going to peek at his cards and see that he is holding Ace-Queen suited, which is a rather sneaky call in the big blind and rather crushing for our hand. The really bad news here is you have less than 1 in 4 chance to come from behind to win this hand because of your 10 kicker. Given he just called 200 chips, leaving him with only 1550 now, and the pot is already 725, to me this is a check fold situation on the turn and river, but possibly call a small bet to see if he was holding a lower pair. The point is, you can't let this pot get any bigger because of your betting. Having a dominated hand with a weaker kicker is why your odds to win are so brutal. These are the types of good-looking hands that new players frequently overplay because they look stronger than they really are in Hold'em. These hands often create confrontations that involve difficult decisions for big pots. If you have a hand like Ace-9, for example, you aren't really hoping for an ace on the flop. You are much better off with a flop like this that pairs your kicker. Now you have top pair and top kicker, which is a much improved betting situation even against a hand like Ace-King that may have had you dominated pre-flop. In fact, you are a 4-to-1 favorite here after the flop, but you had to come from behind, which is why these are actually the kind of situations you should be trying to avoid in Texas Hold'em. Alright, I hope that helps you understand the perils of playing dominated hands with weak kickers. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about playing and winning online poker, visit the Poker School at PattyPowerPoker.com.